record before I do anything.
I got a picture of figgy pudding on my desktop from the last episode.
Can you not chew on the fucking thing? Do you know how loud that is when you do that?
I'm not even chewing, I'm just rattling around my teeth.
It's silent. It's here, this fucking rattling around.
You gave it to me.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
Give me like a blah, 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 like right in the middle of a song, dog. You start a song with that, just give me that blah, 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 blah. Give me that sound right there. I know that's a good song.
Yeah, motherfucker. You got the podcast. Now meet your host, Pencil and Cellar. And I'm Lil Krampus. This the Juggalo Rewind. Season 8, motherfucker. Bringing ass.
What's up, motherfuckers? It's Season 8, the Juggalo Rewind.
Hijacking it.
Hijacking this season. My name is Pencil. They call me Pencil.
You call me Pencil?
You think it's because I have a corporate job.
You got a tiny pencil dick.
What the fuck? Or you think it's because I write everything in the podcast.
Oh.
I'm the producer. I'm the pencil.
Got it.
It's like you, like Brian Pillman,
The Sheik,
when he wrestles the pencil. But it's really because if you fuck with me, I'll stab a pencil in your fucking eye.
Sheik style.
Well, yeah, we should have the Sheik pencil. Do you have any?
I do, yeah.
Well, next time. And I'm
I
here.
didn't know that was your gimmick till just 2 seconds ago.
Well, you're the one that fucking said it weeks ago.
Forgot all this. Yeah.
And I'm here with Cellar.
That's right. That's because I live in the bowels, not in the walls like old Schizo, who is a Ryda as well. I live in the bowels and the cellars and the streets.
I thought it was because that's where you hide the bodies.
No. Yes. All the above.
It's not because you work down here 9 to 5, hiding from your children, not going to work.
Hey, it's been a snow day. I've been hanging out with you these past 2 days.
All right, enough of this. This is way too fucking hot. Fucking
dizzy.
bandana. You like my bougie bandana? It's nice and sparkly.
It is very Brett Michaels-like.
I may keep this one on, though. Is that okay?
That works. I can see you pulling that off.
I actually kind of can. I don't mind it. All right, everyone. Season 8. With your King Gordy bandana.
That's right.
I have my old lady bandana here for everyone watching on YouTube.
Teasing a future season, maybe, with the entity.
Oh, boy. We got to talk about future seasons. All right. My name is Peter. I'm here with Chris. This is Season 8 Juggalo Rewind. What is going on?
Good to be back. Good to be home. Good to be, I don't know, ready to roll. Try not to chew on this thing you gave me.
Yeah. It's on the pencil dick.
I'm going to eat it right now.
That can't be any worse than the tuberculosis lung that you have for the next hour and a half.
No, I'm good. It's just a little bit of clear up. This kind of helped, I think.
Well, tech off.
Anyways,
So,
here we are.
What have you been up to? This is we haven't been in the studio for about a month.
I know.
Since Christmas time.
It was good. That was good times. Good holiday season. Watching football, eating copious amounts of food, alcohol. Now I'm back in DDP. But watching what I eat, I hit up a good friend of the pod, Bobby Shields, and asked him for some tips. Yes.
Oh, nice.
There's so much pseudoscience bullshit all over fucking Instagram, all these nutritionists.
You don't even want to know the Instagram and Facebook shit that I see, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good workout. Oh, I should do that.
Oh.
Or like, do you get the one, I'm going to be stepping away from the microphone here, where like the guy's doing a workout, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, the idea is he sees someone else doing it, and they're doing it right, and he's doing it wrong, but they're doing the exact same fucking thing. And it's like... I look at him like, what's the difference?
No, yeah. Mine are all the nutritionists who are like telling you what's bad, all the different seed oils and all the different dyes and all. No, you should be on a keto. No, you should be on a carnivore. No, you should be a vegan. And I was like, I don't trust any of this. They're all just trying to sell their nutritional supplements. Like in the end, so I hit up Bobby Shields. I trust him.
I hope he tells you what he told me years ago. But did he get back to you?
Oh, yeah. He sent me a couple guys to follow, and the one instantly, I was like, this is exactly what I want, because he was, like, calling it all out. And I was like, and he was on Joe Rogan, so that crowd, who was very hardcore, he wasn't on it. There was a clip of them talking about him and saying he's very level-headed, he clears through all the bullshit. I'm like, well, that's...
I'm going to come down here next week, and you're going to have an ice bath and alpha brain.
No, but I was saying, he's not, because, Rogan's on the other, he's the MH Make America Healthy Again, whatever the acronym is.
I don't even know
He's
what you're
that whole
talking
crowd.
about.
So, this guy's getting praise from that crowd, but he's also, like, pushing back against all the, like, saying, oh, that stuff's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Everything's in moderation. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Bobby Shields told me that Lex Luger told him that the first step of the workout is in the kitchen.
Hell yeah.
I butchered however he said it, but like that's your number one step.
I mean, I'm nowhere near Luger's level. Back in the day, I was watching the old Lex Express video where they're showing him eating on the road. He's like, there's a catered event, and the food didn't look that bad. He's like, I can't eat any of this garbage.
That's great.
And that's when he was a face. Yeah. You can see why it didn't last long.
He's like, this is fucking stupid.
Anyways. People don't even know why we're here, who we are.
Yes. Sorry.
We got us sidetracked early.
Yeah, well, I wanted to try to get into what we've been up to, but we can get back to that.
Yeah.
We are the Juggalo Rewind, which we like to dub ourselves your favorite Juggalo podcast.
100%.
So,
as the votes came in, the tallies were now we're not. Everyone's pissed because we didn't do the votes
for
this season. But as those votes came in, we realized how much you love us and all your votes.
I don't know what you're talking about. We had all the votes. They were in the Tumblr, but we got sidetracked.
It was, it was a threat, and we had to come through.
So, I was going to get into that. Well, now we're diverted from the diversion. We, for 8 seasons, this is our 8th season, go through Juggalo albums track by track, and we talk about the history, what we went through, how we saw things. Mm-hmm. The idea is, if you are new to us, we'll take 2 seconds here, that we are just 2 middle-aged dickheads.
Middle-aged and crazy like a fox.
We've lived through the Juggalo life. We are pretty normal human beings, and we're just here to, I don't know, teach people who maybe weren't in on that ground level, weren't around then, brings up the nostalgia if you were, and just kind of being your voice in the car or at the gym or when you're at home working in the cellar, just reminiscing about old times. Maybe you pick something up, maybe you remember something, it's just a little historical rendezvous through the Juggalo world.
I also like to call it a documentation of the Juggalo culture, because stuff gets lost to time. As we'll get through this album, I mean, this one's on streaming when we get to it, but I feel like it's just kind of lost. Like, groups disbanded the group, but they don't. Hoodie's got stuck on that bandana. I don't know. They don't do a good job, I think, documentary. Keeping track of the old history and
this is a tough one, and there's lots that go with that, but we'll dive into that. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
I don't remember either. Just the fact that we're here, we're just 2 normal guys trying to plow through an album.
Plow through it, eh?
Plow through it as quick as we can.
There'll be some plowing later in this album.
I guess where I was going with that was, we will say this, I don't think we say it enough, but maybe we'll say it once a season, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to be funny. If you don't get what we're saying or what we're doing, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you didn't get the joke of how the season came to be, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it organically happened because the idea was to do it with the Tumblr.
Yeah.
And then this kind of just popped up in the middle of, I guess it was recommended at some point, so it was helped push through by the votes coming in, but then the idea clicked with it.
And even just if you're new and you're wondering, like, why are we talking about this or that? Like, we're just trying to be funny. Like, this is not serious fucking business. If you are that serious about this stuff, I don't even know what podcast you should be listening to, right? But,
I mean, I don't know, because everyone's goofing their own way when it comes to the Juggalo world, for sure.
I hope so. I just want to put that out there, that we're just lighthearted.
Yeah.
Lighthearted Juggalo culture people.
Yeah. So, no gatekeeping around here.
Come on in.
Come on in. Water's nice and warm.
Not really. It is actually kind of warm down here.
Yeah, the heat kicks on down here and it gets toasty.
So very quickly, I didn't even think about going over our 5 W's. We've already introduced ourselves, Pencil and Cellar, motherfucker, where you discuss a different season. Every season we discuss a different album, give or take. If you want to go back in our archives, I was trying to do this on my drive over here. Most Tasteless,
right?
Tales from the Lotus Pod, Wizard of the Hood.
One Less G in the Hood.
No. Pendulum was 4? Pendulum was 5? One Less G was 4?
One Less G was before Pendulum. Pendulum was 5.
And One Less G, Pendulum. What was 6?
The 6th.
The 6th. The Wraith, Shangri-La.
Yes.
Last season was HOK.
Yes.
And we sprinkled in some Christmas and Halloween and other bonus boys through there. So
it's gonna as these come along, we were losing track here. We're gonna have to have just a running tally. One of these tabs in the thing will just be the running tally of the season. So we make sure we know.
So we do that. We hit your inbox every Thursday. If you want to listen on wherever you can listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, watch us on YouTube. You could be watching us right now. Hello, friends. You can see our bandanas and our fun layout of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, it was hard this season. We had a theme last season. It all worked out. Now it's like, oh yeah, we got one CD sitting there.
Very sad.
Have to decide what to put around it.
Not even a tape.
Yeah, not even a bootleg vinyl yet.
Not yet.
Maybe.
And then we've talked about why we're doing this. We're just trying to make a definitive discussion of an album by 2 normal people.
You saying all Juggalos aren't normal?
I'm saying we're barely normal ourselves. All right, so we've gone over all that. Should we? I'll wait for all that. We'll do that at the end, whatever. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it now.
Do it.
We already talked about where you can hear us. You're listening to us and watching us right now. If you want to follow us, we're on all social media at Juggalo RWD. We're back on TikTok. I was worried for a minute. I
posted the announcement of this right when it opened back up. I never did there.
That was great. No matter where you're watching, listening, following, doing whatever you're doing, you can talk to us there. You can rate, review, subscribe. Just make sure that we get to your ears every Thursday morning. So you don't have to come find us. We will come find you. Usually right at the 6 o'clock hour in the morning. So it's always good times.
Working class jugs.
That's what we do. And you can honk the horn on your black truck. And then you can interact with us on all those social medias, or interaction can occur via text or voicemail. Just give us a call or text at 810-666-1570. We always get some good shit on there. Good shit, pal.
Yeah.
And then, or you can email us at juggalorwd@gmail.com. Any and all of that stuff will get looked at or talked about throughout the season or at the very end. And then our website, up and running, juggalorewind.com. Then none of the other shit we can worry about at the end when we loop the do. All right, so if we didn't say it already, because I think we just said we were talking about the Rydas, we are talking this season, season 8, Psychopathic Rydas
Dumpin. Can't even just say it normal. You gotta say it like the song, always.
What's it like?
Psychopathic Rydas. Psychopathic Rydas.
No, that's not it. That's not the case at all. We also haven't talked about, this is episode 0, which we call. So next week we will start episode 1 with track number 1. But this kind of lays the groundwork. So it's a good spot if you've never listened to us before, if you don't know what Psychopathic Rydas are. There is a good possibility that there are people out there who are full-fledged jug and don't know who the Rydas are.
100%, yeah.
Never seen them live, may have never heard a CD. You would think if you're like us or like people who are super into shit, like you're so OCD you want to go back and like absorb it all. So maybe you have. But if you're like, who the fuck are the Rydas?
It's an interesting point though, because I'm like, this is such a different era, especially when we'll get to it, of the groups, split almost a decade ago now. Like, to think that like that was a whole nother world. That like if you're into ICP and especially like the new Ouija crowd coming in, I'm like, do you even care about like those decades before? I mean, I'm sure some are going back and finding it, but yeah, I'm sure some had no idea that like this even existed at the time.
When was the last Rydas album? 12, 14,
11.
Oh my God. I have them all on my file. If you have it there, it's literally what I was looking at before we went live, pal. But I always forget some of them.
2011.
Oh, it's crazy how long it's been.
Right.
And then there was another Rydas CD that came out a couple of years ago. But we're not here to talk about the history of the Rydas. Right. Or are we?
At least
or
yet.
Is my microphone on? It is. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the Psychopathic Rydas before. I mean, obviously, we're not going to talk about the album yet, but we're going to talk about what goes into said album.
That's right.
Before we get into that, is there anything else that we need to, I don't know, talk about, catch up on?
I don't know. I guess that's a good one for season 1, our usual banter, or season 1, episode 1.
Just wait for that. Okay,
I think so, because like I said, this is the groundwork with our usual catching up and things of that nature. Probably more so when we get in the groove of things. I don't know.
That's fine. Did you see a comment from last season was like the listening to this is like Benadryl or whatever the fuck?
I just put "you're welcome."
What the fuck?
I was hoping you didn't see it because I used to get so upset.
Yeah. I was really upset, actually. So that's why we're trying to let everyone know we're here for fun. We're hanging out.
Yeah. Or to put you to sleep. That's fine. Leave it running. That's cool.
Again, I don't know what podcast you listen to about whatever you like.
Yeah.
Basketball, fucking Sopranos, the Halloweenies, whatever the fuck you listen to and like. No one's just sitting here unless you're Tyler Mahan Co. and you're just reading it like this and not talking about anything else. It just depends what
style it is, yeah. If it's a serialized, written, script to it, then sure. But yeah, that's part of the lure of a podcast of this nature is getting into the nonsense and the bits and the callbacks, things of that nature.
We don't suggest that we are good at anything that we do or that we're in anyone's league like this, but the shit that we grew up on is Howard Stern, Stoney and Wojo, Jim Rome, Artie Lang. It's shit like that we're just morning sports radio.
It is, especially local Detroit. Stoney and Wojo was the one that I always gravitated towards as like influence to be like those two cats.
So if that's not your style, your speed, if you don't like that, fuck you, man.
Well, stick around because we got timestamps now, so which I forgot to do in the Christmas episode, now I think of it. Sorry, I forgot who it was who was requesting that years ago.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Well, fuck you.
You know what's a good podcast now? Yeah. Not just to go back. We loved it back in the day, and they can never stay normal. But now they're back on a regular basis, and they're clean and sober. The Good Brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Their current podcast is really good.
I did notice it came back, but I didn't, check it out.
They really just talk... They don't talk about wrestling at all. They talk about finance. Cryptids. So it's all like aliens, Bigfoots, Loch Ness monsters, advice of the lovelorn.
They steal the whole gimmick from TNT.
That's zero wrestling. It's just they talk about their stocks and their crypto, and then they talk about like the wolf monster of the lake of whatever. So
I'm down.
It's actually really good. I highly enjoy that.
That's about like all I listen to podcast-wise is paranormal stuff.
That's actually right up your alley.
Yeah.
So that's what we are, and that's who we do.
That's who we do?
All right. So, episode 0. Timestamp.
Yes.
Boom.
Right here.
We are going to talk about the timeline of how the Psychopathic Rydas came to be. I think there's a little... I'm not saying this isn't clear. Yeah. You did a very good job on the timeline, but even with all the facts put together, it's still a little like, where did it come from? Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere. There was no like, Dark Lotus was like a lead up.
Tons of hype, yeah.
Albums have lead up. I heard the 6th is coming out at the Gathering.
Shaggy Two Dope heard that too and said, that's not happening.
That was great. What?
He didn't say anything. He goes, that can't happen, right? Why would he say that?
That's not possible. Why? That's impossible. I think he may have said that again today.
Jaded? Maybe he replaced him. Like he replaced Mike Clark. It's going to be Ouija and Jay this time. Shaggy didn't get the memo that he's not on the 6th. Just like Mike Clark wasn't.
Oh, poor guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So, my point is that there was no real lead up to this that I remember. It was like an announcement and like, oh, this is going to be something, but it wasn't like a ground swelling.
No, I think it's just that first note, the book of Juggalos Brothers. It just popped up as you're thumbing through. And that's almost like we always make the joke of like the grand ideas and promises. That Juggalos Brothers book maybe is like the first one where you open it up and like, we're going to have a movie and we're going to have this. I feel like they had a bunch of stuff in that book.
We have to keep that out here. That's the era.
That's true.
Flip through that book. All right, I know the timeline is your baby, and then I interject and interrupt and take stories. So if you would like to run us through the timeline of the Psychopathic Riders, and then I will interrupt as I see fit.
So I should have grabbed. Should have grabbed the booklet while I was here.
If you want to, and I can take the first one.
Yeah, you read the first one, and I'll grab the book for the details.
All right. Well, this hasn't. This has already gone awry. So, on May 29th of the year 1999, it was a fine year. The amazing Juggalos Brothers, the 5th is coming. The 5th Joker's card drops. That's crazy. 1999. So, 1999, May 29th, Juggalos Brothers comes out. Young Chris took his bike all the way up to Rock of Ages.
I clearly remember that day. My mom drove me there to get it. And then we went to see the Phantom Menace, I think, afterwards.
I'm trying to think, how did I get May of 99? I would have been out of school. Yeah, I must have gotten a Rock of Ages. Like, why wouldn't I come down to Rock of Ages?
Yeah, I might have got mine at Harmony House. I don't remember where I got it, but I feel like I remember going into the movies. It was either, I don't know if Phantom Menace came out around that time. Because I don't know if I got it on the day of. I got it in that window. But I remember getting it and going to the movies. And that might have been like when they put Star Wars back in theaters. But I feel like it was a Star Wars movie I went to. But like those 2 days, I remember being like super hot. So maybe it was already in June or July by then, for all I know. But yeah, I remember getting it, and that's, I'd say summer of 99, which I guess May is starting to be. May 29th, that's the beginning of summer.
I had to have gotten it like the day of. That just seems like something I would have done. So, all right. You go ahead. I'm looking up when your movie came up. May 16th, 99 is when. Yeah,
so maybe that that lines up perfectly. I would have seen it a couple weeks later, probably.
Or you got it a week early at Rock of Ages.
No, I didn't know about that by that point. So in the Juggalos Brothers CD booklet, you might be wondering yourselves who the Psychopathic Rydas are. So in the booklet, they mention there's a puzzle. So it says, you like to play games? You like crazy rare shit? How about a whole album of gangster rap by ICP? On top of that, the whole album is rapping over rappers' beats, bootleg style. It's fucking crazy. They rap over Ice Cube, MC Ram, Ghetto Boys, beats and more. They do gangster rap with
And they do all those people, right?
I believe so. I don't know about Ren. I think there's a Ren song.
I think
there might not be a Cube song.
There is, though. The World Is Mine.
Oh, yeah. West Side, but yeah, that counts. West Side Connection, Bow Down.
It's not. No, that's not it. See? Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to the episode.
Bow Down starts that beat where it's like, the world is mine. There's a song called The World Is Mine.
By Cube?
Yes.
Isn't it
it's not Bow Down.
What's the non-song I'm thinking of that they used the beat for?
We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
That's The World Is Yours. That World Is Yours.
But that confused me because I kept thinking it was Bow Down. And I'm like, is this the same beat?
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's not on any album. It's on a weird compilation or something.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, we'll get that as we go along. A lot of these beats are I feel like off the path a little bit.
I don't know any of them. It's shocking. I don't know any of these songs. But sorry, I didn't mean to get way ahead. But
they say ICP, along with Twisted Blaze and Misery, call themselves the Psychopathic Rydas. It's the rarest, craziest collectible ICP album there is. It's not even that old either. It was made in 1999. On their days off, ICP and them went into the studios across the U.S. and made this album just for fun, just for you. They're all rapping completely out of character. It's crazy. Violent J raps under the name Bullet, and Shaggy raps as Full Clip. Twisted and Blaze and Misery all have gangster names too. They do not have names at this point.
That's hilarious. That's really funny. I highly enjoy that.
They do straight up old school West Coast gangster rap. The Psychopathic Rydas album is called Dumpin. There'll be only 5,000 copies in existence, and we've had them all locked away in our Psychopathic vault until now.
That's a big one.
Yeah. They got the whole crew. Jacob's going to get the photo op.
Oh my God, it's not Chuck.
No, it's Earl. He
I
loves
know,
all
but
of them.
if it was Chuck, it'd be all fun. Anyway, so
We are opening the vault. So you would like one? First of all, it's illegal. It's a bootleg CD and it's breaking all kinds of copyright laws. So we cannot sell it to you, but we can give it away for free. There's nothing illegal about giving a CD away. That's right, ninjas. The Psychopathic Rydas CD is free. So they give you a puzzle here that you have to solve to get the phone number, which is a classic ICP trope. And you call the number and then we'll find out where to get the Psychopathic Rydas CD.
Oh.
Yes.
And what is the number?
I don't have it written down.
It's right in the notes, dickhead.
Oh. I was like, I gotta answer the questions.
You're like, all right, let's play the game.
The number is 313.
Hold on, star 67. We can still do that, right?
I think so.
1313
438
438.
3680.
All right, we're gonna call the number and see what it does.
Changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording,
No, I guess not. Okay.
It's a little old. I guess it's disconnected. So when you called the hotline, you got the announcement that the gathering of the Juggalos was going to happen in St. Louis, and that is where you're going to be able to get said Psychopathic Rydas CD.
Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yes, so that's in the, I guess you'd say late summer, early fall of '99 is when they were going to have the gathering of the Juggalos in St. Louis, where the CD was going to give it away.
I don't want to correct you in the notes.
Oh, maybe that just means that's when people were discussing that it was going to be there. Yeah.
I believe so. It was supposed to be, I don't want to say Christmas of '99, but definitely I thought it was December of '99.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
That's my recollection. We haven't seen anything that says that exactly, but
right.
I really thought it was very late in the year.
Yeah. I don't think they ever had anything specific because it falls apart pretty quickly.
They don't have anything specific for an event that they have in 2 weeks. You think they're going to have one fucking back then and 6 months apart? Anyways.
So yeah, Juggalos Bros comes out May 29th. So the rumor is, when you call this hotline, everyone's discussing. Well, this is the early days of the internet too, by the way. It's just started. Internet's been around.
Thanks, Al.
For the general public for 2 years, 3 years at this point.
Such an asshole.
I'm just saying. It's not that the kids these days don't know. You're just on your phone nonstop. Your feed's getting fed to you nonstop. You're getting conspiracies nonstop. You're getting bad influencers nonstop.
You gotta go home. You're trying to go to icp.vindaloo.com and your mom's on the phone. You're like, Mom!
The gathering, I lost connection. I have no idea. Yeah. So there wasn't, speculation wasn't running amok on the internet at this point. It's very minimal. So, people discussing this through the summer and the fall. On 9/8/99, old Jelly Nuts over at ICP.com.
We didn't finish the second note. We didn't even talk about the second note. No. It was going to be held in St. Louis, but it was already canceled. They canceled it already.
Well, this post is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now I'm double checking when I was reading here. Yeah, so this is when they announced that it was going to be canceled. Jelly Nut says people bitch that they should bring it to all 50 states. So now they're. Oh shit! Never mind. Confused by all. You're right. This is about the CD. So they canceled it in the summer of '99.
Yeah, because I'm that's the same note twice in a row.
Yeah, I should have read it there.
That's okay. So in the summer of '99, quickly after they announced this, so many people bitched about it that they canceled the gathering.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be in we'll call it December '99. People said, quote, that they were complaining about how far of a drive St. Louis was.
Yeah.
The dickheads, and we'll get to that after your next note. We'll get to the big one.
Yeah.
But yes, everyone's oh, well, what is this? What are they going to do? Is it a concert? Is it whatever? I don't know. You're talking 99. They're at their biggest, right? Give or take.
They're most well known, I would say.
So
I don't know if you'd say they're most popular, on their
most albums sold. I guess,
for sure. Commercial success, their biggest commercial success for sure at this point.
So people all over the country are into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into why this is fucking ridiculous, but they picked St. Louis. Probably wasn't even St. Louis. It's probably the fucking Sauget, Illinois, where it's like right across the river. Dead center of the country. Mm-hmm. What more can you ask for? And people bitched about it. At least people now bitch about it, but they do enough stuff around, or people travel. And I don't know why. Maybe people were too young back then, like their fan base was younger.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, it's pretty young, but like, I wonder if like the Rabid fan base is still so Midwestern that's why they got so many complaints of like, why isn't it in Detroit or Toledo, or because I think the fan base is still, like I said, they're the biggest, selling everywhere, but like the people who are like rabidly Juggalos at this point are pretty Midwestern.
And St. Louis isn't in the Midwest.
I know, but like I said, also young. That's a drive at that point from, I'm just saying, Michigan, Ohio range.
I agree.
Bit Indiana.
To be fair, you were probably too young, but I don't remember thinking, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. I couldn't even get my ass to Novi, so.
They didn't even get that far. I think if they would have planned it and you would have known, like, oh, this is what it's going to be, maybe the plans would have been, because I was old enough to go, like, the wheels would have started turning. Yeah. But at that point, I think it got canceled. I mean, it was quicker than DCU or the Dark Carnival Games at the DCU Center. It just fucking came and went. But, I don't know. Anyways, it got canceled because the Juggalos were, quote, complaining about how far of a drive it was. Fucking idiots.
Hey, it was something new at the time, It's not a concert. People are confused.
So, your next note, I don't understand what he's talking about, but go on and I'll interrupt.
Yeah, this is regarding the album. That's why I was confused, because it said people were...
that's what's kind of dumb, but his logic is dumb, but go ahead. I'll interrupt.
Yeah. So 9899. This is the post I got sidetracked earlier. I got confused what I was looking at. 989 Jelly Nuts is on highspeed.com. He says people bitch that they should bring it to all 50 states. So now we'll bring it to all 50 states.
That's what's stupid. People bitch that they should bring the Gathering to all 50 states, not the CD. Like, people didn't bitch, oh, fucking Dumpin's only going to be in St. Louis. No, dickhead. Like, that's not what they were complaining about. He's mixing the two. But go ahead. Now they're bringing the CD to all 50 states. Yes. Thank you.
But if you want it now, you have to pay full price. However, you'll still be able to get it for free at the Gathering of the Juggalos next May. So, this is see, I should have finished reading at the beginning there.
So they're still talking about another gathering, but just now in 2000.
Yeah.
Anyways. So they were still thinking about giving it away for free.
Yeah. But you could buy it ahead of time on throughout the states.
That doesn't make any sense. But we've wasted enough time on why that's dumb as fuck.
Anyways, so in fall of 99, still discussing this Dumpin' CD.
Before you get there, should we go to your Real Juggalos post?
Sure, because we're discussing the cancellation of the Gathering.
That was on Real Juggalos, right?
Yes. I could not find any ICP post, but like Real Juggalos is good to like synopsing or putting quotes of what they were saying at the time.
I forget who said this.
Yeah, I don't know which person was.
If I search through my text, I bet I'll be able to figure it out. But there was a post, and he says, "This is if you don't wow." Back in the day, your top handful of fan sites. One of them was RealJuggalos.com, and they just posted about every bullshit that happened.
And going through it in this era, it is like basically you're on a wrestling forum, because it's just breaking down Nitro, and like,
oh god,
they're like, oh, the hotline says ICP is gonna be on this Monday. Well, like they're recording like something that Monday, but they were used that Monday, so like it's post upon post of like the day before Nitro. Gary to watch, they're on night, like they weren't on tonight. I don't know what's going on. It's like there's so many posts about Nitro in this era on Real Joe, because there's not a lot going on. Like it's Jekyll Brothers came out, but there's no like tour yet. It's not like they have this big community at the time. All these things, they're just wrestling, and
they're just pulling shit from the hotline and from the website. So if you already have access to that, but so be it. They carved their niche. They're still in the form of Fago lovers. They're still going today. So not knocking what they did, but it is funny that they literally just recycled what was.
There was like good recaps of shows and events, which is cool to go through, like on these way back.
When there's stuff going on, sure.
Yeah.
But when there's nothing going on, no.
But at the time, I was hitting these up all the time, checking them.
Oh yeah,
daily.
no, I'm not saying I wasn't. Like, so the person who posted this was Juggalo Joe.
Juggalo Joe, hell yeah, Joe.
So Hardcore Mike cannot take credit for this. This is all Juggalo Joe.
Did you know Juggalo Joe back in the day?
I have no idea who Juggalo Joe is. There will be no gathering of the Juggalos. This was the event that was to be held in St. Louis, and the Psychopathic Rydas CD was to be given to anyone that showed up. Due to a lot of people complaining that it was too far to drive, it has been canceled. I am sure the people that were complaining that it was too far away would not have attended it anyways, no matter where it was at.
Pretty good point.
This is like 25 years ahead of its time on bitching about the internet. Bitching about the bitching of the internet. 100%. Instead of getting the CD for free, we will now just have to buy it at the next Juggalos Brothers tour for $20. Then he goes through the math of how much money they'll make. I understand all that. That is damn sure what I would do, especially if people were bitching about getting a free CD. Special thanks go out to all the bitch boys that fucked up the gathering of the Juggalos.
Bitch boys.
Yeah, bitch boy. So Juggalo Joe kind of taking a little pot shot at the Juggalos.
I love it.
Fuck you, Juggalo Joe. You're not speaking for me.
Juggalo Joe, if you listen, call the hotline. Let us know how you felt about the cancellation of the gathering of the Juggalos.
Hey, Juggalo Joe, if you're listening, fuck you. You don't talk about the family like that.
The family. It wasn't the family then.
That's true. It's not the family.
It was barely the Juggalos then.
Yeah. No, he's absolutely right. Anyone who bitches about shit like that, let's fast forward, as I was just looking at, as I am doing about fucking Dark Carnival games, or people do about like Astronomicon.
Yeah.
Someone, you bring in the same people. Oh, yeah, you bring in this. Oh, I want to see Barack Obama. Oh, I want to see fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, you're bringing in Peter Dante again. You don't go. Fuck you. Like, people bitch about stuff that they have no reason to bitch
That's
about.
all the internet's built for. It's complaining and conspiracies.
The last couple of days has been way bad.
There's been some fun jokes. The clips of Bush looking high was funny. Anyways.
Drawn cartoons of our president in gray sweatpants. Truth and justice.
There's some real strange stuff floating around out there nowadays.
I sent that to someone, and they're like, what the fuck is this? And I said, you can't ask what me and Chris and Andrew talk about in our texts and then not, question where it comes from.
Things get strange in our thread.
They do. Anyway, so.
Yes. So as he noted there, the CD will be sold at the Gathering of the Juggalos. So in fall of, 99, they announced the Juggalos Brothers tour. They announced the Juggalos Brothers tour. They said it'll be for sale for $20, which is, I guess, an average price back then for a CD. A little bit more, huh?
A little pricey.
Yeah, they're about like 12, 13 back then in the store.
They're just throwing numbers. They only sold it for 10. I don't know what they're talking about.
And then this is a good little note. The total price will be moved from $5K to $25K. It's a big bump up.
Why they would even announce that is, did they say that in the Juggalos Brothers book? That
this says it's going to be $5,000,
okay.
Yeah.
Which is still kind of a lot.
Yeah. $5,000 is a lot for sure. Even on a tour, to think that many people are buying it, like, I guess you're doing a little bit bigger shows then, but I'm like, not every person's buying that CD, so $25K is a fuck ton.
Yeah, $5,000's a lot.
Yeah. Like, that's a high number in record store day now.
If people didn't buy 18 of them, like fucking Don does at all the shows where he buys one of every clothing item, or people who buy fucking 13 of every CD to resale. They're not. Are they selling 5,000 tickets that tour?
They played Copo at tour, didn't they?
They did.
I don't know how full it was, but they played it.
That's an understatement. Yeah, they did, because even if they pulled 1,000 at that show, they had
it was a huge tour,
30 shows. So I'm just fucking around on that one. But
I did make a note that this was not the case. It wound up being sold in the Wicked Clowns from Outer Space tour for $15. Was about how many months later that had been? I don't know.
Wicked Clowns from Outer Space. We'll call that September, October of 99.
Yeah. On 10/13/99, ICP's web store puts Dumpin' up for sale. this version would add the Uziman to the back of the art. So we kind of discussed that off air of how that original pressing. Who knows if it's the 5K? No one really knows for sure. But that original run that was available on the Wicked Clowns tour, that would maybe have been the giveaway. Has no Uziman on it.
I know someone's gonna correct us.
Yeah.
Are there really copies without it?
Yeah, I never was like on that collecting end of like the little details like that.
If there was, I would have thought I would have had it, but I didn't. So not saying that I'm the end all be all, but like
I feel like there's two versions of it floating around though. But I don't know if that was the difference, or like did they have a front cover that wasn't the foil?
I don't think so. I think they always said the first 5,000 didn't have the Uziman. Yeah. For those who don't know, the Uziman is the hatchet man, but he's got a Uzi instead of a hatchet.
We're like deep in the weeds of some of these things that I'm glad you're catching as
There's
we say
a
these
lot
things.
of them. I think we've missed a couple, but I don't want to picture of the Uziman. Here.
A little story about the Uziman.
We'll just have him right here.
I should go a 3D printed one.
Here we go.
I'd save this for the gathering if we do cover the gatherings, but we'll bring it up even then.
We've talked about it enough.
I got pulled over with the Uziman in the car. So we were on the way to the 02 the gathering. That was one in Illinois.
Whose piss was in your mouth?
It wasn't in mine. It was our buddy Sanchez got our buddy Steve-O's piss. We threw the bottle out the window. But anyways, we're driving through the middle of nowhere, Illinois. Late at night, all of a sudden, sirens pull us over. Back in the day, they were looking for Juggalos. We had the gold.
Some things never change.
We borrowed Steve-O's grandma Bubba's car. Big gold, like 97 Fire or a Thunderbird with a big gold Uziman. We bought it. Rock of Ages back window, and they're like, that flagged it. They pulled us over, tore apart the car.
Did you just put that on there for the weekend?
Just for the trip, yeah.
Were you going to take it off on the way when you got back?
No, we're going to let his grandma drive around with it on.
Seriously?
No, we took it off. Though it was parked in the hot-ass sun in the parking lot all weekend, and like Faygo or something got all over it, and like the sun baked it into the paint. Tried washing it, just never came off. Yeah, it was like there was like weird like splotch patterns like from either the Faygo that got like the sugar like ate the paint. Something happened to it. Never was right again.
Because what car did I have? You talked about this earlier, but like I wanted to talk about it. Wasn't my Blazer. It may have been my Grand Prix. I swear that after one show, I was fucking soaked. And I took all my clothes and I had it on the roof of the car in the back.
Yeah.
And I let it sit there for not that long. And then I swear there was a splotch of that where the paint was just corroding.
That was our only guess. Is like it just, they're throwing the Faygo in the parking lot and like the sun just baked that sugar or something into it. But Big Ed was not happy with us.
I can only imagine.
So back to the timeline here. That was the fall. Was that almost Halloween season? They dropped Dumpin in the web stores for people to purchase. And then on 12/8, they announced the Christmas Party. That's we'll discuss a little bit later. But I just had to add this because this note's so funny. Did not find any other details about this. If anyone remembers this.
Well, and we don't have to talk. We'll get to it as we get here. Why skip around? Like, let's just fuck it.
But yeah, they announced the party.
Fuck it.
They say there'll be two multi-platinum musical artists as the guests at the event. And I'm like, that was the one announcement. Never brought up again. Never like teased that there's gonna be who they are.
Makes no sense. Where were they going with that?
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't know if maybe the gimmick of the Riders
was that they were like it's like a new age Goldies.
Yeah, like, or they're like they're famous rappers like in disguise, like they're multi-platinum.
They are famous rappers in disguise.
But yeah, that little note was posted there and it never brought up again. At least that I could find, and I'm like, that's just funny.
That is funny.
So, anyways, that was 12/8 when they announced that. And then on 12/18/99, the Rydas performed for the first time at the Big Ballas Christmas Party, second annual, down in the shelter, right?
So, yes. So the CD, we will say, comes out in the early fall of 99, right? Like September, October. Assuming it came out before it hit the web store. So then 2 months later is their first concert at the Big Ballas Party.
Yeah.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yeah?
Keep talking. I don't know what you're going to talk about.
That's all. That was I believe the only act at Big Ballas. I did see a note from Real Juggalos. A few folks on Real Juggalos entered Ballas. They had a contest for karaoke. sing.
What?
They had a
No, they didn't.
yeah. That's what they said before the Riders came on earlier in the show. They had a singing ICP. They had three contestants, and two of the real Juggalo guys were entered.
I don't remember that at all.
And they said they're going to be giving away I don't know if it was one of the leather coats or something to the winning group. But he said the funny little note I remember in there is they said they're on stage getting ready to go and they're like all nervous, and Alex is like, yeah, don't be nervous. I know that's what it was. They were wearing one of the leather coats, and then Alex like, oh, that's nice, that's cool. Where'd you get that? He's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, Alex like, you need to get one of these if you got 25 extra grand laying around or something. And pulls out his gold charm and shows it to him.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I don't know what they actually won, but yeah, it was like 3 people going out there to sing a Juggalo song.
I don't
Maybe you
remember.
weren't in there yet by then.
Maybe. So I do have that ICP performed and the Riders.
Yeah.
So there was a dual set there.
That's nice.
What was the date on that? I need to put it in my spreadsheet.
12/18/99.
All right. I went with Tom and Rex. So I have here. That actually, no, that doesn't make sense. So they did perform.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what they performed.
Okay.
They did how many songs here? They did 9 songs, 9 of the 12.
Solid set list.
Dumpin', Who, Kill Over Nothing, Are You a Ryda, Ryda Hitter, Slugging Your Noggin, Ghetto Fantasies, Every Day, Riding for Life.
Mm-hmm. Solid
9 songs. If you search, you can find that. There's an audio bootleg on YouTube.
Yes.
I know it floats around. I know for a fact it's on the Bootlegged at the Gathering YouTube page.
Right.
Do you know where that bootleg came from?
You 3?
Right here. This
The OG copy of it. Look at
this
that.
is the actual fucking tape that we
Where
recorded.
the audio
on.
came from.
Yes.
Not bad audio for 99 on whatever you're recording it on.
Ryda's live. Oh, I have it right here. 12/18/99. Ryda's. See, this is what makes me think I mislabeled this. I wonder if I taped ICP too.
Oh, they're a little set.
Because why do I have 2
copies.
Rydas? Interesting.
Look at that. This is for the vault, the Juggalo vault. Put it away forever.
And if
Save it.
not to say, oh, you could have just put it there. I'm sorry. Not to say like, oh, you guys didn't do that. I also did Hollowicked 99.
Oh yeah.
So like people say, oh, how many more did you do? I did this one too, and I made a fucking
Look at
tape
the
cover.
little cover you made for it. Look at that.
Look how professional that is. So
Insane Clown Posse and Twisted. I love that.
So there you go. If anyone says, who made those bootlegs?
Steve-O's going to need these bootlegs for his garage. You got to make some copies for his collection.
So, there you go.
Yeah, that's
We-
hilarious.
we
I did
will-
not know that.
We will plug a little bit if we haven't already plugged it in here, a little dabbling.
Yeah.
I think I started to listen to it, and I could kind of hear me and Rex, and I'm like, oh, God, this is
Now I need to go
gross.
back and listen because I just had it on kind of in the background, like just to write the notes of the tracks. But yeah, now I want to hear if I can hear you guys
So,
talking.
now that I say this, it jogs memories, but like, I wish Rex was here to remind me. Not that he would fucking remember.
Yeah.
Maybe he would. I remember recording it and being, this was, 2 iterations of the Shelter, like
Yeah.
back. So if you've been there recently,
Looks nothing like this.
Looks nothing
Yeah.
like it. You go back one, and they had that weird bar in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Like to the right.
Just like jotting right through the middle of the crowd.
But this is before that.
Yeah.
So it was, we were like to the back and to the right. And I remember recording it. So obviously I was recording it from there. But then I also remember we were up front, and it was so jammed that they pushed people up on the stage.
Oh, really?
So like we were like 4 people deep, but we were on the stage because that's everyone just fucking
Yeah.
pressed. But now that makes me think that we recorded the Riders from back there, and that was for ICP that everyone
Went up
rushed.
front, got-
I really thought they rushed for the Riders, but maybe they didn't. So that's the only way that makes sense, because
Yeah.
I couldn't have recorded it from the front.
That's funny.
But I remember our fucking because the Shelter, our shins were like, I'm dying up here. So we just ended up on stage. Makes me want to listen to both of those
to see if there's a difference in there.
So there you go.
We'll debut that on our YouTube page if you got the ICP set.
I don't think I do. I feel like I only ever did like 2 or 3 different ones. So we have some other stuff we can debut on the page. We gotta get working on making those MP3s. So
a mere 10 days later, the ICP hotline announces you can get the Dumpin CD. Oh no, ICP hotline announced on 12/28/1998 you can get the Dumpin CD at Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis. So they're still plugging St. Louis.
Why?
Like you could have where the gathering was going to be.
You could have gotten that CD for 3 months. Why?
Well, you don't have to get it shipped to you. Shipping online, shopping online's hard in '99. Not everyone's doing it, But the funny part about this little note is he said you could also get 2 Dark Lotus 2 months earlier with it, which December of '99.
They're insinuating that Lotus is going to come out in February.
That's what the hotline apparently says.
When did Lotus come out? It's Gathering of 01?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I always love those little announcements.
Man, now we're going back to season 2.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they had that shit recorded back then?
God, no. You think they got the 6 recorded right now for the Gathering? I mean, they may have some. We've talked about that in season 2 of like Echo Side and then like the Start and Stops and Drunken Ninja Master and then Start and Stops. So there might have been some other.
Was this going to be like an EP?
That track with Godsmack was probably done by then.
100%. That's strange, but yes, I also love those notes too. So
then 3/2/2000, so we're in the year 2000 now. Stranglemania Live Tours announced and it's mentioned that solo albums from Bullet, Full Clip, and Little Shank will be available there. We could get into that like down the road about the solo. Solo stuff that's leaked out from those eras.
If they did, we've heard all of that.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I don't think there's anything extra out there, but everyone's heard little bits and pieces. We've covered a few of it on season 5 on the Pendulum.
Correct.
Yes.
That's probably where the Bullet, those were. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And then spring of 2000, some stores start to carry Dumpin, and then it's said that they were pulled in April of that year because of copyright issues. I don't know. I guess I could see both ways, that it flies under the radar or someone somehow flags it and pulls it.
Yeah, but that's still, I don't know.
And then 7/21/2000, they perform at the Gathering of the Juggalos. Riders have a set there, so that's the timeline up until they have bust out the Riders Gathering.
Gathering Rydas 7/21/2000.
Look at that. Now we're gonna have to discuss this later down the line.
Now this, I don't know if I ever like those. The first 2, I definitely like made copies of and sold.
They're floating around, yeah.
I don't know if I did for this.
Wow.
If it is, I bet John's got it on the Bootleg at the Gathering.
Yeah, I didn't. I think I didn't. I just didn't dig. It's so hard searching on YouTube sometimes. But I'm like, I don't remember seeing that on there. So we'll double check.
It may not be that good a quality. Maybe that's why I didn't do anything with it.
It's worth though to check it out.
Do you have it tape player down here?
I need to get one.
Fucking useless.
Tease for later in the season. Come back. We debut Gathering Rider set. Maybe AI could clean it up nowadays. We'll see.
Maybe. So there you go. That was my contribution to the
Juggalo Society.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. So I think that's a good timeline of the Dumpin era of the Gathering, or the Gathering
of the Rydas.
Of the Rydas.
And to go to that point, we could try to sift through, but in reality, over on how many concerts the Rydas ever performed.
It gets hazy because like there's all those ones in the later gatherings that technically are like not even really a concert.
But still, like even counting those, 20.
Yeah, but like
I'd go the under on the 20.
Even just like the first era, those first couple, like the Riders, Ride and Dirte era. 4, 5.
Yeah. At one point, like me, Tom, and Rex, we saw every single one.
Yeah.
There was like those 2, the next gathering, maybe there was like an after party. Like the first one we missed was like a show in Denver. They just did like a random like after party.
Yeah, I remember seeing the after party, like Bizarre after party with a Ryda set or something.
I thought it was after that era, but maybe it was just like it was a purple flyer. It was real weird.
Might have been Hatchet Rising.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck, fucking missed the first one. But yeah, there was so few and far between, and they never did a tour.
No.
They just gatherings, maybe Halloweens, if you were lucky.
I don't remember that.
It's 2000.
Did it? Oh yeah, because that was like everything.
But yeah, not that many.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it just disintegrated into 4 a.m. at a gathering where you really question, was it really fucking them? Because the first couple they did like on the outdoor ones, it was like a surprise set.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't expect it. But then, yeah, when it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's announced on that mini stage. 4 in the morning, middle of nowhere. It's just their boys and get-ups.
We didn't really. You kind of talked about this, but I'm shocked we didn't dig into the Rydas, who they are.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that, but it should have been the first part.
But we can get into that next episode. But it's ICP, Twisted, Blaze, Misery, and they are in full bandanas, rapping like you said over gangster beats, gangster shit. But it's the 6 of them, and they all have aliases. But we'll
gangster walk, talk gangster shit every time I talk. Whatever the hell he says.
We'll get into that at a future date. We talked about. So now we're just going through our notes here. We talked about versions of the CD.
Yeah.
Why do I have written vinyl?
I was wondering that too. I'm like, what do you? Maybe just our tease that we're gonna bootleg it and sell because it's a bootleg album. Could
be. I don't know why I would have written that down. We talked about how the original was supposed to be at the Gathering of '99.
Yeah.
We don't really. Oh, we should talk about who produced said album. As Chris said in the Chuckle Brothers booklet, they are stolen beats, so they cannot. I almost finished that sentence without talking. So they cannot sell it. So the story that they put out is that they created another record label called Joe and Joey Records so that they could put stuff out like this and they could not get sued because it was like what do they call it, like a shadow company?
Yeah.
I would love to know the true business story for that. You're out there. I know someone's out there. Oh, fucking Joey Nuts the Clown said that they needed to fucking, so they didn't get. No, for real. Someone had to come up with that. Was that the real idea? That like, hey guys, we can't put this out. We're fucked if you put this out. You have to give it away.
I don't think so. Because Psychopathic from Outer Space is also on that label, right?
Yes.
My assumption is that they use that as a way to sell it and not give it Island money any cut of it.
That's not a terrible plan.
That's what I think it makes the most sense. You want to sell stuff that's not. You don't have to go through the record company. You can get their okay on shit. You don't have to give them a cut. You're just on the very slyly trying to sell it on the low. I think that's what it was.
I forget where we heard this over the years, but I don't think they reported when they would sell CDs at shows.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That era, no way they were.
So, like, if, we sold 20 of this CD. Yeah. But they'd only, they'd sell 100 of them, but tell Island they only sold like 20. So I think that was a thing. But maybe every band does. But
like with that, I'm like, maybe Island's so big and they're so small they don't give a fuck. Like, they would have an allocated number, right? So you got to like, hey, where's those 40 CDs that are missing? Like,
you would think so.
Yeah, maybe Islanders didn't give a shit at that point. But
that also fucks your like sound scan, right?
Yeah, but that would be my guess for these albums.
That also fucked their sound scan for 2000 for Bizarre because I gave away 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
I probably still bought one, but
yeah, you bought 2 more copies because you did the Lil A that day. How the fuck you say it? Don't question how I say it.
Is it Lantium Day?
Lilianda Day.
Oh shit. So yeah, are those the only 2 CDs they put out on Joe and Joey Records?
Unless like they resurrected it later down the line, I don't remember.
Was like Riding Dirty on, or any of those on it?
Ooh, those might just be Psychopathic at that point.
So what's the difference? What changed in the next 18 months?
Was Psychopathic even a thing in '99? Really? Like they had the Hatchet Man.
What are you talking about? Was it a thing? What the fuck are you talking about?
My point in general, all of it is like they're made up labels. None of them were like real labels at this point.
Every record label's not a real label, right? I mean, it's all kind of bull. The music industry is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The label that runs beneath the streets.
Duh. I don't know. I would like to know a real story behind that.
Maybe Psychopathic is underneath it. Maybe so the deal was when they signed to Island, maybe Psychopathic Records itself is signed there. So if they're selling it under Psychopathic and somehow Island's going to get wind of it, they're stamping Psychopathic on these 5,000 shitty CDs. So.
The president of Island.
Yeah, go on. Is that what he says?
Fuck.
I think a mix of the gimmick. We had to have the gimmick. We have to do this new label to sell these, and just to fly under the radar of Island. That's my guess.
It's probably the real reason.
Yeah.
I'll buy that. I just want to hear someone actually like admit that.
Yeah, for sure, the real story.
We'll talk about him later on. Do we want to talk about the members throughout the years? I mean, it's
a wrap up thing. The
future of the Rydas. Now, here's a big one we should probably talk about now. This is, so when does this come out?
Fall of 99.
Fall of 99. So it's technically the first, this is where I get fucked up. I'm trying to get at, is this Blaze's first Psychopathic release?
When did the Most Tasteless reissue drop?
August of 99?
Because that would be it.
Because he was on Spin the Bottle?
Mm-hmm. Bitch, you don't even know who the fuck I am.
Why did I always think that this came out first?
I mean, it's so close. You're in the month window there. Maybe just overlooked him even beyond, because it's one track, as opposed to he's an integral part of this album.
He is. So, I don't know. It's one of his first.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't have a gimmick. Like, he's not a dead body at this point. He's just on Spin the Bottle, right? He's not brought up as a dead guy on Spin the Bottle, is he? And then he's Cell Block. Is
that the only song he's on? He's in the background of one of the songs.
Isn't that What the Fuck he's in the background of?
Yeah, I think so.
And then...
I'm bad at this.
Then the ISI track, the... Big Kids Incorporated, the remix, when that dropped.
But that doesn't come out till
2000.
Yeah, at the Cryptic.
Yeah. So that'd be the only other, track,
which is after this.
Yeah.
And that came out the same day as his album.
Right. Yeah, so at this point, he's just a guy. Just a big guy with a burly voice.
But he's got, he's all over this album.
Maybe Cell Block is the prequel album to Blaze. This is him when he's alive, and this is his crew hanging out outside Kobo, selling their CDs on Joy Records before he gets shot. Maybe this is the origin story of Blaze before our eyes.
I mean, we always joked about that he's more Cell Block than Blaze, so I'd buy that.
I like that. I like retconning that this is his album before he got killed.
I like it. So that's the history of the Rydas.
Yes.
And leading up and a little past the release of their first CD, Dumpin'. Which is a beautiful little CD there. It's got the foil.
I love the foil. The refractor. Is that what you call those?
Maybe.
Ivan's gotten into collecting cards. The big refractor craze.
Yeah, like 18,000.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's fun.
Sports or wrestling?
Yeah, college football cards, which I'm loving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do they get away with that?
They're paying kids millions of dollars right now.
All right. Do we have anything else about the Rydas and Rydas?
Do we discuss our personal history, or is that more of a wrap-up discussion of when we first heard it? what our thoughts were.
We can do it now. Yeah. We don't have to do thoughts, but like, I honestly don't know. I was thinking about that on the way here. Yeah. Like, what's your recollection of getting this CD?
See, it's hazy. It's early in high school, and I'm guessing it's
hazy because you were drunk.
Yeah.
You were about to say no, and then you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's actually.
At this point, no. By riding Dirty, I was partying Dirty. Anyways, I remember getting this and a Psychopathic Rydas Dumpin at Rock of Ages. I remember being cold as hell, like winter. But the only thing that makes me like hazy is I remember driving around like crazy listening to this. But I'm like, maybe it was just a full year later, like when I get my license and I'm bumping it, because I remember playing it and like, this is more of a wrap up thing. We discuss like Everlasting or like thoughts on it.
That's every song I can say. Yeah, there's a lot.
But like, I remember giving the CD to someone who has no interest in ICP and loving it and like wanting copies to just drive around and bump in high school. But I'm like, yeah, this was like a staple in the car, and that's what I always remember is cold as hell driving around. But I'm like, at that point I was at 99, 2000. But you know, those years blend together. But that's my early memory is getting both of them at Rock of Ages.
Yeah, man, I wish I could remember where I got this, when I got this. I don't know if I had to wait till Hollow Wicked 99 or if Rock of Ages would have gotten it. I truly don't remember. I could probably do a little research on the old internet, see if I can pull it up. But I remember it being real good. I remember being excited about it.
And I think I found out about it like icp.com/realjuggalos.com. Like, I don't remember this. I mean, sure I did when it came out, but I like don't really remember like reading that and being like, oh man, I want to get this. Like, I don't. I never called that number. I don't think like that doesn't jog my memory out. Like,
or was it not that big of a deal where you're like, that doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tickle my pickle kind of thing.
God, the writing on these notes are so hard.
Is that really that small, or are we just that old?
It's not even being that small. It's like the font mixed with the flames over the back, which just drives me nuts.
So it's just like the website?
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. What about you out there in Radio Land, Podcast Land? Do you have memories of Psychopathic Rydas Dumpin? Did you get it at local record store? Did you get it on the Wicked Clowns Fire Space Tour? Did you call the hotline number? Do you one of the assholes who bitched and got the original Gathering of Juggalos canceled?
Yes.
Well, Juggalo Joe is going to find your ass and beat the fuck out of you.
Juggalo Joe
call the hotline.
Hasn't listened to ICP in 20 years.
Maybe he's one of them long-haired truckers and he's going to jump on board with us.
Maybe that's Hippie Joe.
There's been a lot of Joes in the Juggalo community.
There aren't. There's more Steves than Joes.
Well, you don't know this, but there's some legendary ones, including the big man himself.
You got me. I can't say anything else other than that. So to follow up with what Chris was saying, if you want to let us know your stories, your thoughts about Dumpin, your history with Dumpin, or just in general, anything you want to talk about. Like we said, find us on any of the social medias. That's at Juggalo RWD. I would say to use the hashtag Ryda Rewind, but President Elon Musk says that you shouldn't be using hashtags on X anymore because it doesn't matter.
But what about Meta, the other president, President Zuck?
Does that do anything?
I don't know. Would you use hashtags on Instagram?
On Instagram, did you notice at the beginning of the year, now you don't get them in your feed anymore?
What's that?
Okay, so we're diving the weeds here. You know how we follow different people?
Yeah.
You can follow a hashtag, and so every time Hollow Wicked would come up.
Yeah, it doesn't show up anymore. You're right. Nope. Yeah, because I used to always get Cam Zool to roll around. I'm like, oh, here we go, we get some fun stuff.
So you can still put it. I think you can still search for it.
Yeah, but it's not going to be fed to you.
It's not a saved search.
Thanks a lot, President Musk. Or no, President Zuck. President Suck, if you're calling me. Anyways, Instagram, I don't know if they work. I don't think they work anywhere anymore, but...
Yeah, no, that's why I've been meaning to say that. Like, hashtags are, not if they weren't useless before, but you definitely have to, like, do some digging. So, regardless, find us on social media, find our posts, and reply to those.
That's right.
Go in the comments on the YouTube or on the social medias and let us know. Or, like we said before, email us at juggalorwd@gmail.com, or call us or leave us a voicemail like all of our good buddies do at 810-666-1570.
That's right.
If you don't know any of that stuff, or you forgot where you can listen to us, where are we? What am I doing? Am I still the president? Then, if I show up to work tomorrow, then you just go to any of our socials, go to any of the bios, go in those link tree.
Yes.
And that has all of the notes, all of the links, all of the everything of where you can find us and do all this good stuff.
Every day. Find us on the web every day.
Juggalo Rewind every day.
That's right. Where you at?
Rewind. Plug that.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's it. You
That's
ready?
right. Yep.
All right, episode 0 in the books. Next week, we're going to start with episode 1, track 1. The album is Dumpin'.
Dumpin'.
The song, I don't want to spoil it.
No.
You'll find out next week.
Yeah.
So, for Cellar, it was fucking Pencil. See you next week, motherfucker. Hey. It's fucking dumb. All music played in this episode and in this entire season is owned by the respective publishers and copyright holders, and is reproduced for review purposes only under fair use. Man, fuck that. Who's gonna sue us? Season 8, Juggalo Rewind Rydas.